Hey everybody, it's Murgle, and today we're gonna go over tailoring in Legion. Now, of all the professions I have done so far, tailoring has by far been the most boring. And by boring, I just mean it doesn't seem to have a lot of items that are really interesting. And the quests, even the quests were kind of bland. I don't know, it just seemed like tailoring was boring. And as a person that generally mains a tailor, that's kind of disappointing. But in any case, it's not that it's not going to make money, it's just boring. So let's get into it. And now, tailors, they have these crappy patterns, right? These crappy little junk patterns. And it's not that they're not useful, it's simply here. Well, let's just go to the Obliterating Forge, and I will show you these do have a utility, just not a very good one. Um, you won't get very many supplies, and let's grab a runic catgut here. Don't be fooled, by the way, these aren't naturally here. You have to do a quest and then they'll be there, but some people may put them on the auction house for immense amount of gold. The sharp spirethorn and runic catgut, they'll be it'll be like you don't have them, and then after you complete the quest they become vendor bought. So don't be fooled and pay a ton of gold for them because they're not worth it, um, unless you simply don't want to have to go farm for the quest. But yes, these do have a utility because, like any other crafted item, they can be destroyed on the Obliterating Forge. But we'll go ahead and make some right here, and you'll see that even though um, they just don't have very high costs, so they're not going to give you a very good amount of supplies. So obliterate, and you'll see this one's epic. Two obliter mash. Okay, I was testing them and it's just awful. And three right there. So I mean, there's an idea for you. They obviously aren't very useful. Only when leveling maybe, but other than that, crappy amount of supplies, so crappy amount of obliterum. Um, yeah, the cloaks. There's the only I don't understand this. They're all 735, and then this one is 765, but their appearances are different. So all of these have a different appearance. And we do get a new bag in Legion. However, it's the Silkweave Satchel. Okay, all it takes is 90 of this, which isn't too bad, but it's only a 24 slot bag. So depending on how much Shalderai silk costs, um, Ember silk bags are 22 slots, and they usually sell for about 300 each. If Shalderai silk is 3 gold each, this means this is going to be a 270 gold bag. And I'm just making an estimate. I have no idea how much Shalderai silk will be, but it's just an estimate. So, a 270 gold bag for 24 slots. Ember silk bags are going to kind of lose any, I don't know, utility, since this will be so easy to make with very low cost, in my opinion. So, what's going on here? Hey, ho, 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 whoa, well, that's nice to know. But anyways, the Shalderai silk, right? It's going to be a very large quantities, and so is this bag. Now, as for the bag size, there is one bag that is larger in Legion than no, not Ember Silk. Ember Silk's in my head. The bag we got in Legion, Hexweave. Okay, I couldn't think of it. There is one bag that's larger in Legion, and it's the Hexweave bag. Um, Now the bag that is larger than that, right? It's 34 slots, and it's 500k. Okay, I don't recommend buying it. So Hexweave bags, that's why you should stock up on them, because the next biggest bag, 500k each, right? So if you wanted a full slot of 34 slot bags, that would be 2 million gold. And there's no getting around it, right? This is from a vendor. It's 500k from a vendor. So there's absolutely no way you can avoid paying that gold. So yes, Hexweave bags definitely going to be good sellers come Legion, simply because they're the next best thing, right? And let's go to my unlearned recipes, right? There are There is a new imbued silkweave, right? You have to imbue it by a arcana, which is the enchanting dust. It's kind of like the um, imbued cloths from any expansion, really. That's exactly what it is. And you get 5 for 10 Shalderai silk and 3 arcana. Now, the imbued is used for these better recipes, and these ones will give you many, many more obliterum because of their extremely high cost. This one will be by far your best seller. I am almost guarantee it because this is used in the Obliterum Forge quest. The imbued silkweave bracers used in the Obliterum Forge quest. So these right away will be like probably 10, 20, maybe even 30k each simply because people need them, and you'll have to go very far in the quest line. So I mean, it's going to be a while before anybody's making these, and they're going to have a huge, huge cost. It's in the zone Suramar, which means it's a 110 zone, so you can't even get this quest before you're 110. And yes, very, very fairly high cost because look, that is 70 imbued silkweave, which means you have to do a 14 of this. So it's going to cost 52 arcana, or excuse me, 42 arcana, and 140 Shalderai silk just in terms of that. And then you also need 80 storm scales. Now, at the very least, you don't need blood of Sargeras, so you can make these in unlimited quantities. And very early, I would recommend making as many as possible because people are going to be paying huge amounts on the auction house. And then, of course, you have all your other 815 items. Now, again, these have fairly high costs, but they will sell too because people are going to want to buy these to upgrade them to 850 item level. So, yes, they do have very high costs, but they're going to make very high profit. So, it is worth making all these, but this one will be your best seller simply because it's useful in the quest to unlock the Obliterum Forge because you need the wrist pieces from tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing. So here's some more junk ones. They're, again, just mostly leveling gear. It's not really going to be useful once you hit 110, but it's very cheap cost. So you can also obliterate it too if you really want to. But as you've seen, very low amounts of obliterum ash, so it may not even be profitable. I don't know how its obliterum is going to, equal out when Legion comes out, but we'll have to see if it's even worth destroying these items simply for the obliterum mash. So the other items, you get these cloth chests, which I did go ahead and go get the pattern for one of them. It's cloth chest Dalaran. And what these cloth chests do, it's just a cosmetic thing. You can lay it out for your raid, and we'll put one down right here. And your raid can click on it, and you spin around, and you dress like one of the people in Dalaran. And it doesn't wear off in combat. I was fighting like this, so yes, you can drop this for your raid. It's just for cosmetic appearance. It does nothing else other than that. So I guess it's a fun little item, and it doesn't have too big of a cost. 50 Shalderai silk. I mean, it's up to you if it's worth it, but again, it's just for fun, so you and your raid can go ahead and move around, and it lasts 15 minutes. So, yeah, not very long lasting either. And what other unlearned patterns? I think really that's it, and that's what I was saying. Oh, excuse me, there's one more. Blood Totem saddle blanket. The Blood Totem saddle blanket. I have no idea what this item does, right? I did go ahead and find somebody with the pattern, and I went ahead and had some of them made, but he didn't know either, because when you scroll over it, it gives you absolutely no item, like it gives no description of other than place a saddle blanket onto your mount, making your mount much more comfortable for 2 hours. This effect duration is quadrupled for tailors, so when a tailor does it, it lasts 8 hours, but it gives no. And I looked everywhere, like I looked it up, I looked on forums, I couldn't find anybody actually explaining what this does, and I looked at my mount speed, everything. I couldn't see any difference when I used this item as opposed to when I wasn't using it. So other than giving my mount a more comfortable feel, I couldn't actually find a use for this thing. And that's not to say that like the other professions have useful items, and when we go over them, I haven't went over them. I think leatherworking makes one, blacksmithing, and engineering. So I honestly couldn't find a use for this one at all. I didn't mount fast or anything. I really, really couldn't find any kind of utility for it. I thought maybe by the effects of it, I thought maybe it was gonna say your mount is much more comfortable and you could like fight on it, you know, kind of like in Nagrin in Warlords where you could fight on your mount. I kind of thought that's what this was going to mean because maybe your mount's so comfortable you can fight on it. But no, I still dismounted and yeah, didn't find any use for this at all. So hopefully, maybe somebody in the comments has found the actual use for it and they can drop it. But as for now, I don't know what this does. And that's it. You get a few more cloaks, imbued cloaks. Uh, yeah, very, very boring skill. I'm sorry. That's what I was just. To me, it seems like the other skills had more, I don't know, fun. They had more cosmetic items and stuff. But yeah, all it is clothes chests here. Woo. You don't even get a pet. So, I mean, yeah, it's just boring to me. So, well, that's it for tailoring. Again, when it first starts out, your biggest moneymaker is going to be imbued silkweed braces. But tailoring also has one thing like, uh, as with the other crafting skills, you can make stuff from previous expansions. So I guess tailoring is going to have a big profit potential there for the transmog wardrobe. So it's like you might not be making as much money as some people with Legion content, but you're definitely going to be making a lot of money with previous content by simply crafting stuff. So I guess that is maybe how you could see it balancing out. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.